Not a steelbook that a cook would have.
So, Tyler, we're talking about the past. Let's look to the future.
Let's look to the future.
And I'm talking about September 6th, 2024. Let me paint a picture for you. Deadpool returns to cinemas. It's Ryan Reynolds, but not just Ryan Reynolds. We get Hugh fucking Jackman returning as Wolverine for Deadpool 3.
I had such a fanboy hard-on all day. What was that, Thursday or Wednesday?
I don't remember.
This past week that they busted that out. And then did you see the other news? He's confirmed to be wearing the yellow suit.
I don't see that. Where did you see that confirmed?
By some insider.
Who? Give me your sauce.
It was RK Outpost.
It's not like I said, give me your sauce. RK Outpost.
It was that Star Wars girl?
Yeah. It was Geeks and Gamers.
Yeah. I like how there's, you know what?
By the way, there'll be no Griff report. We have too much shit.
They're actually such good, some of these people are actually such good friends with Geeks and Gamers that they refer to them in their comments on us as G&G.
Yeah.
You know, hey man, I was hanging out at G&G's house.
Let's talk about Deadpool.
But so yellow costume. It's been confirmed by an insider, and it was seemingly confirmed. I don't know.
What outlet is on?
Why are you mad at me? Why can't I just make shit up? I don't. It was some inside douchebag who's had like previous stuff that is panned out. So it's like, okay, well clearly he knows what he's talking about. I don't know. Some fuck.
Wow. I wouldn't be surprised.
But the question is
awesome.
Is he going to wear the Jim Lee one from like the 90s, or is he going to wear the Uncanny X-Men, the brown and the yellow? I would like to see the Uncanny X-Men. Although I wouldn't care about either one.
I don't know. I feel like the brown would look better on screen.
It probably would, yes. That bright blue and that bright yellow.
Yeah, because they're going to have to mute the yellow in some way. Because even Deadpool's costume, it's still like a red, but it's more of like a crimson. It's a little bit lighter in the comics. And I guess because, you know, some things look better on a page.
Yeah. But remember the yellow wheelchair in Multiverse of Madness. That did not look that great on screen, but it was such a great callback. It was like
such awesome. I'm thinking maybe they do, because he still had the ashy white suit from Deadpool 2 on when he was typing. I'm thinking, are they possibly actually going to do a real X-Force idea where Wolverine's wearing like the ashy white?
Well, that would be the X-Force from like 2012, I think.
It's
when they were
Rick Remender, I think.
Yeah, it was Psylocke, Wolverine, Deadpool, Domino.
Yeah, I think so.
But yeah, they all had the same color scheme.
Yeah,
Deadpool also had,
and
that was referenced in the
Deadpool 2.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway,
I actually have that costume in Marvel Strike Force.
What do you think? How much money? Like, they had to just back the truck up into Hugh Jackman's driveway and just be like, take as much money as you want out of this.
You know what? I
gotta feel like that's a huge. I'm telling you, most of the budget is going to go to Hugh Jackman just being Wolverine.
Wait a second, okay?
Sure.
Now, these two guys have clearly been friends for a long time.
Yeah.
Like a long time. And I'm willing to bet anything that Ryan Reynolds said at some point in the past, hey, man, like they were joking around, you know, at a party or something. He's like, hey, man, you know you got to come back for Deadpool no matter what, even if you retire. And he was like, haha, or whatever. And then he retired. And he was like, hey, man, you got to come back, you know, for Deadpool. And he was like, no, I'm not going to. He's like, just to let you know, I'm going to keep asking you until you decide to come back.
He
and
said
like
at the end of
6 years,
too,
like 6 years later, dude, 6 years later, every fucking day for like 6 years straight, Ryan Reynolds has texted or called Hugh Jackman every fucking day, sometimes twice a day. Hey, are you coming back for Deadpool? And finally, one day, Hugh Jackman was like having a great nice dinner with his wife and his family. And he's just like, da da da. And he gets a text.
I could use a new house.
And he just goes,
I could use a new bathroom.
And he goes, you know what? You know what, love? This fucker is not gonna. You know, I'm not gonna do the accent. You know what? This guy is not gonna leave me alone.
Here's the thing.
I might as well go back. The fans would love it. I'm still kind of itching to play Wolverine again. Why not? He's never going to let it go. Let's just do it.
But look, here's what I'm saying.
Then he said $10 million for 30 seconds. Sorry.
I don't think that Hugh Jackman doesn't love the character and love playing the character. He was the character for 17 years.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm also thinking that he was truly done after Logan.
True.
And then Ryan Reynolds called him up and said, I have, or Kevin Feige or whatever, whoever had those conversations was like, we have an idea. Because I think it's going to be a Secret Wars tie-in. I think Deadpool 3 is the catapult of completely killing the Fox X-Men and then bringing in the MCU X-Men. And the best way that we know it's a multiverse story is they said that it's not touching Logan. Logan is its own thing.
Right.
And I want to have another conversation about that after this.
Okay. The other thing that I was going to say is that there is a fantastic, one of the better Deadpool stories is, I can't remember what it's called, but it's literally they take the original Secret Wars and then just insert Deadpool into it.
Yeah.
As if he was there during the original Secret Wars. I can't remember the story or what it's called. But it's fantastic. And honestly, that would be a really cool way to tie it in. To be like, because Wolverine, the original Wolverine or whatever, was in the Secret Wars. So
here's my explanation for this. I think
I'm going to look it up.
And I think this is smart. I think Deadpool 3 is going to keep its canon. So he's still going to have Cable's device.
Probably.
And I think Cable, I think they would bring back, unless it's what we think, and Hugh Jackman is just too expensive, they can't bring back Josh Brolin. But I would love to see Cable in it, too.
That would be kind of funny. Yeah, that would be kind of funny, though.
But yeah, I think that somehow the device is going to get wonky and it's going to rip open a multiverse, and it's going to be what we kind of thought Doctor Strange might be with Multiverse of Madness, where this is literally going to be like them going on a multiversal adventure.
Right.
And I think that's probably how they're going to bring in the MCU. I think they're going to kill off all the Fox X-Men and bring in the MCU X-Men.
Sorry. I love you.
What are you looking up? Is it important?
Yes, I wanted to know. It's called Deadpool's Secret Wars, I think.
Jeez Louise.
Deadpool's Secret Wars. And like it's a 1-4, and they literally just, I think, I don't know, maybe it's part of the Secret War. I don't know.
Why don't you just have me look it up? I'm right here.
You know what? I guess you're so much more mathematically inclined.
What? Anyway, what do you think? What do you think Deadpool 3 is going to be?
I really don't know, but I like your idea. And again, that touched on, my brain touched on that idea that I remember reading about that story. I've never read it myself.
Cullen Bunn wrote it.
It sounds like a really great idea because I loved the original Secret Wars, so I'd love to see how they kind of skewered it and whatnot.
Cullen Bunn is one of the better Deadpool writers for sure.
Yeah. So I've never read it before. Maybe I'll try and go by Barnes and Noble, who could be a sponsor of the show.
I've been reading Scotty Young's Deadpool run.
Yeah.
Which is 20...
Interesting.
He took over after Gary Dugan finished.
I've never been a huge Deadpool guy in the comics.
I actually have a lot of Deadpool comics.
Well, see, here's the thing. The Deadpool that I know is that shithead that Rob Liefeld created, which is nothing like Deadpool is now.
Well, yeah, and honestly, I do... And I get that it's Ryan Reynolds, so it's going to be different. But I would like to see... And they kind of leaned into it with Deadpool, too. But I like it when Deadpool does try and do a little bit more deeper subtext. Where,
yeah.
I mean, sure, I love Deadpool fucking eating chimichangas, murdering people, and doing... I love that about him, too, and cracking jokes. But, like, Dugan has one of the best... Deadpool arcs, and it's the good, the bad, the ugly, and it's a story about him finding out he has a daughter, and it is him, Wolverine, in Captain America, and they're infiltrating this base, and I think it ties back to World War II and Cap and Wolverine being there because they were war buddies and whatever, and like it's just a lot weightier themes than you'd expect in a Deadpool story.
For a long time, that X-Men comic was worth a lot of money.
But I think this could be a cool thing like that too. But at the same time, I like the idea of it being just fucking wacky and they're just pulling in the MCU X-Men.
Yeah.
And I think it's... And then we'll have this question too, because this has been floating around. Do you think this tarnishes Logan's legacy? Do you think it tarnishes Wolverine's legacy a little bit, where we have this big emotional movie that feels like an incredible send off to a character.
No,
but now we got this.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's going to be Wolverine anymore. I think
this is it. Yeah.
I mean,
maybe he'll cameo in Secret Wars.
I think we're lucky to have him, and we should act like it. We're lucky to have him back for one more shot.
Alive to do it. Yeah.
Yeah, we're lucky to have him back because he said he wasn't going to, but Ryan Reynolds convinced him somehow. And hey, we're lucky to have him back, and I think Deadpool 3 is going to be great no matter what it is. I mean, because I think Ryan Reynolds knows enough about the character and stuff, and has had such a hand in both the other two movies that he's not going to let the third one be like a clunker, and Feige won't either. But I do think they're going to give him a longer leash than other artists or creative teams have gotten.
Yeah.
But
and they said early on that they still want to make it R-rated, and they want to keep.
But they still have to kind of run everything by Feige because it is part of a larger arc. That was one of the deals. Is Deadpool coming to the MCU? Sure. Can we have Deadpool be the way he is? Sure. But you gotta fucking tie him into the MCU. Okay.
Missed opportunities.
Why?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I totally agree with you. And I'm just throwing my hands up because I'm like, we talked about this months ago on this show, where we said, like, why not make these other Marvel-affiliated studios to give hints to parents and have the more mature shit? Yeah. So I was like, Werewolf by Night would have been a great example to put, like, the Marvel Knights label. And then the Deadpool movie, or even have Deadpool 3 launch the Marvel Knights.
The Marvel Zombies animated show is going to be TVMA rated.
Right. And that's why I'm...
The only reason Werewolf by Night is not is because it's in black and white. That's what the director said.
And that's
all the blood is... black and white or gray.
Also, did you know the guy that made Werewolf by Night is the composer for the Batman?
I knew his name. I recognized his name, and I was like, I don't think he's directed anything else, but I recognized the name.
So that's
yeah, he was great for that movie, man. The Batman?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done other stuff, too. What else has he done?
I think he did It. The It remakes, but I could be wrong.
I really like, we'll get to it later, but I really like the music in Andor so far.
But I agree with you. I don't think it tarnishes Wolverine's legacy because it's a fucking comic book character. And
it's a one-off probably.
And we have now, the MCU has now said out loud, there's a multiverse.
Yep.
So just like in the comics, this could just be, I look at it as it's continuing Deadpool's arc, but it's just a team-up book. That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's a team-up book, and
fucking you know what?
Wolverine's going to go off and do his shit.
You know how great if they could throw Spider-Man in there, too?
I know, but that's...
Oh, my God.
But that's one of the reasons I loved Thor Ragnarok so much, because that was the first time that we saw these guys have a buddy movie and guys hang out together outside of being the Avengers. And I would like to see more of that. I wanted Falcon and Winter Soldier to be that, and it probably would have been that if it were a movie. There, I said it.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.